Right, so She-Hulk. She-Hulk is a show coming out, and I guess elephant out of the room first. The CG in this trailer is not great. It's not amazing. I mean, Hulk, Professor Hulk looks fine. I will get on to that later. And Emil Blonsky's back. Abomination's back. He's been back since Shang-Chi, but he's going to have a prominent role in this, and Tim Roth as Emil Blonsky is, back and in scenes, and apparently will have lines, so, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see that character come back, and it's the comic book look, so he looks cool. He doesn't look like the weird skeleton monster thing that he was in the 2008 movie. So it looks like this show's bringing back a lot of stuff with that. I hope Samuel Stearns is in it. I hope the leader is in it for at least a little bit. And, just something. You can't put your Hulk stuff in a Hulk movie, so put all the Hulk stuff in a Hulk show. So I hope that there is at least a reference to that. Because that was a cool thing that they didn't do anything with, so I hope that there's something there with that. But yeah, the CG on She-Hulk herself, the main character of the show, looks weird, and I don't know if it's just the whole concept of She-Hulk as a character. She doesn't lean towards, she doesn't lean towards something like being overly bigger than anyone else. She's just slightly taller, got slightly bigger muscles, but she's not, the CG doesn't make her look that muscular in most scenes. In some scenes, you're like, she's, hench. And then in other scenes, it's like, oh, you skipped leg day. Oh, damn. But yeah, it looks off. It's like obvious that she's not real. That it's like obviously CG, and like I don't know if that's like something where it's believable. Like you get so used to seeing how Hulk looks that when you've got a new character, it takes a little bit of time. And obviously during the show you'll probably get used to it, and you'll get used to how the character looks, and because you will see more She-Hulk than you see Jen Walters. That's just how the show's gonna work, and that's what they show in the trailer anyway. The trailer shows a lot of She-Hulk, which is cool. I like that because it's not doing the Venom thing where it shows Venom at the end of the trailer. It's not doing that. It's doing, yeah, it's a She-Hulk show. We know what the She-Hulk comics are like. We'll do that. The other thing is the sense of humor. It's Marvel humor, but Marvel humor works with She-Hulk. It works because of the kind of character that She-Hulk is. She is this kind of she is like, the best She-Hulk stories are comedies. She's this like zany, wacky lawyer that works in superhero lore, and it is very wacky and out there. And it basically any She-Hulk book is a comedy book, or the best ones anyway. Because she had that weird one after Civil War where they turned her into a monster and she went grey, and that was not fun in any way. But yeah, I've only ever read She-Hulk as a comedy title. It's only ever been a comedy book. There's been some seriousness in there, and there's punchy fights, but it's always about the jokes, and it's always about being funny, and the kind of action comes secondary, and I hope that's what this show does as well. I also hope that it's episodic. You know, we got that little tease that they're going to do they're going to do a callback to the 80s show, the Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno show. Friggin' love that. But, you know, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing Abomination come back. I'm looking forward to seeing why Banner is Professor Hulk in this. And obviously this takes place, I hope, in between. Does this take place within the 5 years in between Infinity War and Endgame? Does this take place in between Endgame and Shang-Chi? Because at the end of Shang-Chi, in the after credit scene, spoilers for Shang-Chi, by the way, if you haven't seen it yet, you should have seen it by now. If you watch this channel, you've seen Shang-Chi probably. But in the after credits of Shang-Chi, fucking Bruce Banner's there, and it's Mark Ruffalo. He's not hulked up. So, you know. Also, where's the arm cast? Surely the amount of damage that he did to his arm, that's there for, like, years. That's, like, a constant thing now, but does he just, like, heal even more rapidly than he did before? And that's, like, the banner part? Or, like, the Hulk part is the healing or whatever? I don't know. It's going to be interesting, and I want those answers done. I feel like people expect this show to kind of do more than it actually is. I feel like some people are probably going to be annoyed at seeing the Marvel brand humor in this, but I feel like it makes much more sense for that Marvel brand of humor to be in this as opposed to something like Shang-Chi or Eternals or, say, a Doctor Strange movie, or, you know, because She-Hulk should have even a lighter tone than something like Spider-Man. She-Hulk should have the same tone as, like, a Deadpool movie for me, because that's how I read the character, and the voice that the actress who plays who's playing Jen Walters She-Hulk gives the character, at least from what I get in this trailer, is right. It's the voice that I've always read Jennifer Walters as. So I think it's doing all the right things. The only problem I have right now is the CG. And if the show's good, if it keeps me engaged, if it makes me laugh, then, you know, we're all good. If it makes me laugh, if it's a good time, if I'm having fun with the show, and it answers a few questions about that 2008 Hulk movie, and it, you know, kind of acts as a pseudo sequel to that, you know, way years in the future. I'm interested to see who will make an appearance, because obviously Tim Roth is back. Are we going to get Blake Lively back as Betty Ross? Are we? Have I even got the actress's name right? The woman that was in Lord of the Rings. Are we going to get her back as Betty Ross? Is she going to come back? Obviously, you know, how much did they get to film some scenes with William Hurt before his untimely passing, his sad passing? What's going to happen in this show? What's going to happen? Yeah. Are they going to change Red Hulk? Because here's the thing. I know it's shitty to talk about, oh, what does that mean for the character when, you know, an actor's died, but we're not getting General Ross as Red Hulk anymore. I don't think I don't think Marvel Studios or Marvel cares enough about the character of Red Hulk to, you know, recast General Ross. I don't think they care enough to do that. But what could happen, because people have wanted that character to appear for a while, to appear for ages, there is a precedent for a new Red Hulk, a different Red Hulk that isn't General Ross. In the US Avengers, which is a run that probably nobody read, there is a different guy who is Red Hulk. You could also probably do Red She-Hulk. You can turn Betty Ross into Red She-Hulk at the end of the show, and that can be the big fight. Probably. I don't know. That's what I see happening, because in every Marvel thing, the villain is the opposite of the hero, or just what looks enough like the hero, but it's a palette swap. So, what is more of a palette swap for She-Hulk than Red She-Hulk? But Betty Ross has been so many different things. She's been the Harpy, she's been Red She-Hulk, she's been, you know, whatever. She's now a voice in Bruce Banner's head, or in the Hulk's head. So, you know, if she even is in the show, I have a feeling my prediction now is not Titania main villain. My prediction that the end fight in this show that isn't going to be shown off in any trailers or anything, my prediction is Red She-Hulk is the villain of this show. That's my prediction, because it just fits in with everything that Marvel's done at this point. Like, Iron Man, who's the villain? Ironmonger. You know, there's so many Iron Man villains. There's so many Iron Man villains that are, you know, more popular or better than Ironmonger. But, you know, Ironmonger, chuck him in there. Black Panther, who's the Black Panther's villain going to be? Oh, we're going to get a guy and he's going to wear another Black Panther suit. You know, Moon Knight, who's the villain of Moon Knight going to be? Oh, he's going to be another guy who's got similar powers to Moon Knight. Oh, we're going to do Bushman? No, because he would be original and unique and different, and, you know, and not what we want the show to be. WandaVision, who's the villain going to be? Oh, we're going to have a palette swapped Vision, and we're going to have basically a palette swapped Scarlet Witch. The only one that has been slightly different has been maybe Loki, or even Hawkeye, because the main villain of Hawkeye, spoilers for Hawkeye, by the way, because people haven't seen that show yet, supposedly, but spoilers for Hawkeye, the villain of Hawkeye is Kingpin, is Wilson Fisk, Vincent D'Onofrio. So, yeah, that's the only one that isn't, but because no one cares about She-Hulk and no one knows about She-Hulk, like 3 people do, including me, but yeah, the people that don't know about She-Hulk, they're just going to be like, oh yeah, chuck a red version of She-Hulk in there. And, you know, you get to please fans by having a Red Hulk in something, and you get to have an easy villain to shove in, and it's a character that's already been set up in a movie that nobody watched. Anyways, I will see you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know. Let me know in the comments below what your predictions for the show are going to be, and if you're excited for it, and whether or not you think they can save the CG before the show comes out in August. I will see you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this one, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and notification bell. See you guys in the next video. Base.